Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be painting this little sketch in a sketchbook that I have been working in this week. If you saw my last video, you'll know that this is part of a sketchbook challenge that I'm doing with another art friend who is sketching Scarlett here on YouTube. And for this one I decided I wanted to work with gouache, and I'll be completely honest, I don't really like how this piece turned out in the end, so sorry to spoil it from the beginning, but I do really like the process, and I went back and forth as to whether or not I wanted to even share this with you, or if I wanted to try to put something new up for this video, but I decided that the easiest way for me to just, get content out there and have it ready for you guys while also kind of being transparent about my struggles was to just go with this piece and share it with you. So I was really excited about the concept of this one, and while I wasn't exactly sure how it was going to turn out, I was excited to experiment with it. And I would say that's probably the greatest thing about working in a sketchbook, is that I feel free to experiment. Like, I'm not stressing myself out going, this has to turn into original I can sell or something I can make into prints. Because it's in my sketchbook, I just felt a lot more liberty to go, I don't really need this to turn out perfectly. I'm going to put a good effort in, but more than anything, I just wanted to try something different. And that's not really something that I have been doing in my sketchbooks very much. I tend to think of it as a place to plan pieces or to warm up, and always with the goal in mind of getting to a final product, a final piece that is finished and kind of clean and good enough to use for some product or something or other. That's been a little bit more of the mindset lately. And while I do think that that is important in some instances, I think it's also really important to have times like this one where I was just like, you know what? I have literally no idea what I'm doing, but I'm just going to do it anyway. I really liked the little thumbnail sketch that you guys saw in the beginning of this video, and I really liked the sketch that I did, the larger sketch here on this page. I did actually record the sketching process for this, but when I was going through the footage, found that my head was in the shot like the whole time. So all you could see was like a big fluff of curls, and you couldn't really see the sketch. So darn, it's okay. I'll do it better next time. And I don't know how I got it right in my previous video, but anyway, I'll figure it out and we'll get there. The primary reason that I ended up not liking this piece very much is the same struggle that I usually have when a gouache piece fails. And that is, my colors were too dark and too saturated. And really, I think that's just a matter of me not being patient enough when working with gouache. Meaning I could have added more layers, I could have lightened things up, I could have diluted my colors more, I could have added more white, or not diluted, but desaturated them by mixing them more, and I ultimately just, I don't know, part of me feels like I was being impatient, but part of me just feels like I just need more experience working with gouache. That's why when the pieces in this medium do work out, it's always like a surprise to me, like I've been tricked, and I don't really know how I made it work, but it worked. And I know I am learning, and I know I am getting better at working with this medium, but overall, every time I have a piece like this, it's just a reminder that I still have a lot to learn in working with gouache, and of course in watercolors as well, but I'm definitely way less familiar with this particular medium, and I can feel that I still have a lot of learning to do before I get to a place that I'm happy with. And what I did after I had kind of gone in and added in some gouache layers, I was kind of at an impasse, knowing that I could either spend time doing more layering, or I could accept it as a sketch in my sketchbook, as an experiment, maybe even an idea I would revisit again in a fuller piece, and just kind of add in some lines with my black brush pen. And I decided to do that. I hadn't used my brush pen in a long time, I was kind of missing it, and I kind of thought that maybe the black brush pen, that super dark black, would lessen the super saturation of the darker colors in the gouache. And it did. It kind of made them seem less dark. Overall, I don't know. It's okay that I'm not super happy with how this turned out, because I wasn't expecting more from it. I'm not going, oh, this isn't going to get me enough likes on Instagram, or I'm not going to be able to sell this piece. I just went, you know what? It's in my sketchbook, and I'm going to have fun with it, and I'm going to just experiment and see what happens. So I do wish that it had turned into something that I would be happier looking back on, but ultimately I got to use some supplies I haven't used in a little while. I got to experiment with a concept, and I actually do want to come back to this whole idea. I didn't mention this before, but the concept behind this was actually something that I was inspired by my friend Lisa Sketching Scarlet that I'm doing this sketchbook collab challenge project with. In her first video for this challenge, the last one that she put up at the time of this video, she did this really awesome piece where the character, the figure, had floral tattoos that kind of sprouted at the edges of the figure, and I wanted to play with that idea. Ultimately, I don't think that I really captured what I was hoping to capture, and while I was hesitant to even upload this because in my brain, content that I put up on YouTube has to be of a specific caliber, and while I do think that that's true, that I am pursuing art as my professional career and I have a responsibility to provide content that I think is of a particular quality for you guys, I also want this to be a place where I can just be honest and open, and if this channel doesn't succeed, or if my art doesn't succeed, it won't be because I sold out or because I tried too hard to make appealing content and it didn't work. It'll be because I was just being honest, and that wasn't good enough for enough people who liked it and wanted to see it and support it. I know that sounds a little bit silly, but I don't know. How do I even say it? I'd rather fail because what I do isn't the kind of thing that enough people would want to see than trying so hard just to please people. And I know that ultimately the balance as a content creator falls somewhere in between, where I want to give you guys things that you will like and things that you will enjoy. And more than anything, I want to provide content that you can just kind of take a step back and watch. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a part of the constant unending internet flow where you watch this video and then you watch 18 more videos and then before you know it you spent all day on the internet. That's something I myself am combating and trying to not allow myself to fall into as a lifestyle. But at the same time, you know, I just want to do what I want to do. I decided to pursue art as a career not because I felt like I needed to or because it was the only thing I was good at, but just because I had been drawing for a while and I had already started making content, and I was just thinking, you know what? I think I can do this. I think I can just keep going and keep making content, and if enough people like it enough to support me through various ways and watching videos or purchasing merchandise or any of that sort of stuff, then that would be awesome. So I hope you guys have enjoyed listening to me ramble, particularly rambly rambles today, and I hope that you've enjoyed watching the process of this piece. It's pretty loose, it's pretty rough, it's pretty all over the place, but I wanted to share it with you. So my next video will be a sketchbook tour once this sketchbook is complete, and I'm super excited to share that with you, and I will see you all next time. Thank you so very much, most honestly, for watching this video, and have a wonderful weekend. Bye!